for another video. Today's video is just going to be a little different than normal. It's just going to be little housekeeping thank yous and a small little rant, if you will all indulge me. I saw something on an ad on a YouTube video that infuriated me. So I'm going to do a little rant, so I hope you all will indulge me. However, let's get the good stuff out of the way. First of all, I would like to thank, from the bottom of my heart, DJ Odyssey, Bird of Prey 5, and the Anti-Trekker, who are all great people and have their own channels here on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed, I suggest you do so. The reason I am thanking them is because they continuously have promoted my channel, and I cannot thank them enough for that. A lot of my subscribers I have is because of them, and I am grateful for that. Even though I'm at 20, I'm still in the minor leagues here, but I cannot express how grateful I am to you guys. So thank you again, DJ Odyssey, Bird of Prey 5, and the Anti-Trekker. You guys are just awesome, and thank you so much. Now, with that out of the way, I just wanted to say that comment on an ad that I saw on a YouTube video. And the reason I want to comment on it is it struck home to me. And that's why because it hits home so much, is why it infuriated me so much. Most of you don't know, I suffer from a disease called ankylosing spondylitis, which is a inflammatory disease that affects your spine and joints, and then later on in life it can affect a lot more than that. And it's uncurable, and basically they can only do pain management and try to reduce the amount of inflammation your body produces. But I'll get back to a little bit more of the technical side of it in a minute. The ad itself had me hopeful and then infuriated. The reason it had me hopeful is because ankylosing spondylitis is so rare. To see an ad that was bringing it some exposure was really cool to see. Because, to give you an idea, there's going to be a website in the description below to this video that will give you all the information you need, and we'll be able to explain it way more than I could. But basically, according to the website arthritis.ca, only 1% of Canadian men will have ankylosing spondylitis. So that's about 300,000 Canadians, roughly, give or take. And that's just a drop in a bucket. So to see it getting some type of publicity was very cool. And then they shot themselves in the foot. After the person says, I have ankylosing spondylitis, he proceeds to say, it's a degenerative disease of the spine, which it's not. As I said earlier, it is an inflammatory disease. It's not a degenerative disease. So now, there is an ad floating around YouTube that is factually incorrect about the disease in question that I have. And it infuriated me. And so what I figured I would do is I'd come on and I'd give a little bit of, I guess you could say, testimonial of what it has done for me, or to me, I should say. And then, of course, link the actual factual information in the description below. And then if anybody cares to research it or look it up, it would be available. Because if you see this ad, it is so just not factually correct. Ankylosing spondylitis is very rare, as I stated. It's an inflammatory disease. It affects people with it greatly. It causes them a lot of pain. It makes a person suffering from ankylosing spondylitis can have days where it takes them up to 30 minutes to be able to just get up and be able to stand up. And usually there's a lot of screaming involved. Because the ankylosing part of ankylosing spondylitis is a fancy word for fuse. Because eventually, if the disease spreads and the disease is not maintained, in its worst stages, it fuses the spinal cord. And as it is, ankylosing spondylitis is not curable. There is no cure for it. It is just manageable. Every case is different. It doesn't have a set guideline. Stage 1, you're like this. Stage 2, you're like this. Stage 3, you're like this. Stage 4, you're like that. Ankylosing spondylitis doesn't work that way. Ankylosing spondylitis is random and affects every single person that it affects very differently. And so it is very hard to treat because, as my specialist put it, they're not really treating ankylosing, they're treating the side effects or the damage caused by ankylosing spondylitis. Myself personally, I take pain medication to keep my pain levels down. I also take an injection every week so that it's basically a compound that restricts the amount of inflammation my body can produce. It doesn't make it so my body can't produce it at all. It just attacks the parts of the body that make inflammation and reduce the amount that it can produce. The other thing with it is, with me, is because, well, to quote my dad, I never do anything unless I do it right, and I never do anything the easy way. I also have a kidney disease. My kidneys function at about 37% right now. My creatinine levels are just under 300. And eventually, if they can't keep it maintained, I will need dialysis. Now, the reason I bring that up in my case is because it makes treating the ankylosing very tricky, because where it is an inflammatory disease, a lot of the times you have anti-inflammatory medication prescribed. Anybody who knows anything about kidney disease knows that one of the worst things for kidney disease is anti-inflammatory medication. So I think I put it best to my doctor, in order to treat one, we have to shoot the other, and he laughed and went, sadly, yes. So the reason I'm stating all this is because I'm not doing this for, people to go, oh, I hope you're okay, get better. It's more to raise awareness, because when I saw that ad, I was so infuriated, because it's bad enough that ankylosing spondylitis is so rare that it's barely on anybody's radar. But now there's an ad out there that is basically spreading false information about it just to make it even better. So I just wanted to come on and kind of give people a real look into what ankylosing spondylitis is and kind of vent a little bit. I hope you all don't mind. But again, the website that will have all the technical babble that I can't even pronounce will be linked in the description below. And thank you all for listening and allowing me to vent. And then once again, thank you DJ Odyssey, Anti-Tracker, and Bird of Prey 5. You guys are just awesome.